If I had to hit restart on my sales career, would I pick pharma or software sales? Well, over the next 2 days, as I fly to Wagga, eat my way through Canberra, and surprisingly turn one appointment into 3, I'll reveal my surprising answer. And spoiler alert, both industries involve caffeine, but only one has amazing food pens.
It's my pleasure to welcome you on flight 6661 to Wagga.
So we've just finished up in Wagga, and now it's just going to be roaming time, you, me, and this 3-hour drive to Canberra. So let's talk about some of the reasons why I would consider a tech sales role and a sales role. Now my credibility here would be, I've been in the pharma industry for coming on 10 years to fairly represent pharma and med devices. And on the tech or software sales side of things, I have a lot of friends who work in the industry. I recently went to a final round interview with a top software company. So whilst I haven't done it, I believe I've got a pretty good understanding and grasp of the industry. So I'm going to give you 3 pros for tech sales and 3 cons for tech sales, followed by 3 pros for pharma and med device sales and 3 cons for pharma and med device sales. So let's start with tech. Number 1 in terms of pros by far is going to be the income. At entry-level role, there's not much difference between pharma and software sales, but as you progress into an account executive role, mid-market or at enterprise level for software sales, you are going to earn substantially more than the equivalent in pharma, which would be a hematology or oncology sales rep, because those tend to be paid the highest, as the drugs are $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month. And when I'm talking salary gaps, I'm talking you can earn double. And a big reason for this is there's uncapped commissions in software sales. So if you want to build generational wealth, I think software sales for sure has to be top of your list. The second pro about software and tech is it's a very exciting space. Everything's going that way. Look at the FANG stocks. Look at the Magnificent 7. Everything is in tech. AI, cybersecurity, automation. So it's constantly evolving, and if you like the latest and greatest, that's the place to be. The third and final pro about software sales is the office perks. I've seen the offices, I've gone into them, looking onto the harbour, beautiful views, beautiful facilities, in-house chef, and on top of that you get an Uber Eats allowance every month. Like, these are perks that we just don't get in pharma. So what are the cons, you might be wondering? Well, whilst you get paid a lot, you need to perform. And so what comes with that is pressure. And it is very cutthroat. And if you don't hit your metrics for 3 months in a row, you'll be out the door. I've also heard that you might be served what's called a PIP, which might come to you in the morning, and that means that afternoon you best believe you'll be packing your bags and you're out the door of these companies as they restructure. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't go to the tribunal, there's nothing you can do about it. The second downside is it's a very heavy office-based role, especially entry level, where you're going to be on the phones, cold calling, and often it's 5 days a week in office, which means making the early morning commute to wherever that beautiful, amazing office is, getting into the office 8:30, staying in till 5, maybe 5:30, and then making that tragic commute back home. Versus in pharma and medtech, commuting time is built into our schedules. The final con about software sales would be because of the amazing offices, work perks, overseas glamorized trips that we see on social media. Everyone wants to be in software and tech sales, so it's highly competitive, and finding just an entry-level role may be much more difficult than pharma or med devices. So let's present the counter-argument. Why pharma and med devices? Number one, it's stability. Relative to software and tech, our industry is quite safe, as people are always going to be in need of medicines. Sure, don't get me wrong, there are redundancies and restructures in pharma, but far less than software and tech. The second reason has to be flexibility and work-life balance. Given that we work in field, if you're good at your job, you align your appointments correctly, you could easily start at 10 a.m. and finish by 3 or 4 p.m. So if you value flexibility and you have commitments outside of work, picking up the kids from school, I think pharma sales definitely trumps software in that aspect. Oh, right, check out this backburning going on. Now, the final reason to consider pharma sales is the big picture. What you're selling, the behavior change and outcomes that you're driving ultimately exist for good, and that's to help someone who's sick and in need of medicine. Not to say software isn't meaningful, but I think when you work in healthcare and you hear some of the stories from doctors about what your medicine has done for their patients, can really warm your heart if that's something that you care about. So on the flip side, what are the cons of pharma? Well, building off my last point, I think if you don't like science, reading into the data and having that clinical discussion, you're definitely not going to enjoy pharma because you need to be good at that. The second con about pharma is it tends to be a little bit more of a traditional industry in that, we got to wear the button-up shirt and suit pants for guys, and girls need to dress a bit more conservative. Versus in tech, at least at entry level, and when you're in office, it's sneakers, whatever the latest fashion trends are, whatever's comfortable, it doesn't matter. And so if you want to be fashionable and wear streetwear and things like that, pharma's obviously not going to be the place to be. And I suppose tied in with a bit of that traditional mindset, where I've heard stories of people progress very fast in tech and software, you might find in pharma it's a bit more traditional. You need to do 12 months in this role before you can move to the next role. And then you need to do 24 months in that role before you can move to the next one. Versus it sounds like in software and tech, it's a bit more of choose your own adventure, and you might be able to break. There's no paradigms or social norms. And the final con about pharma sales is alone time. As you can see, you're going to be spending a lot of time on your own because you're out in the field. And so some people can find that very alienating, unlike tech and software, where if you're a SDR or BDM, you've got your account execs to work off, you've got partners to work off, you're in the office environment. So you're always surrounded by people you can lean on. So now, with all that information, let me give you my honest thoughts if I had my time again. And remember, this is my personal opinion and what's relevant to me, because everyone's going to be different. I think if I weigh up the situation as a whole, whether you go into tech or pharma, you're going to get 3 key benefits. You're definitely going to learn how to sell, and with that comes communication skills, comes relationship building, comes resilience and emotional intelligence. won't go wrong there. Number two, both industries have great development opportunities. If you want to go overseas, you want to work in London, New York, wherever it may be, both industries can facilitate that for you. And the final point would be that both industries are super exciting. We already know the tech boom is happening, but even in pharma, new medicines, new research does roll out. Not as fast as software and tech, but we are advancing. And look, maybe I'm a bit of a science geek, having been a pharmacist, so it might not be everyone's cup of tea. I definitely think it's quite interesting to see the progress that we're making in modern medicine. So the ultimate question, if I had my time again, what would I do? I've always tried my best to be hot with you guys, honest, open, transparent. So my no bullshit answer would be, if I had just finished uni and about to start my professional career, I would go into software sales. Yep, you heard me, software sales. And that's because achieving financial freedom is something really, really important to me. And most of my childhood memories are of both my parents always working. So maybe I'm wired a little bit differently in that I want to set up my future family with financial security. And the money that's on offer in tech and software, especially in today's day and age, is something that's just too great to walk away from. But again, that's just me. I'm keen to hear from you guys. Drop a comment below. What would you prefer to do? Software and tech, or med device and pharma? So we've just checked in to the Crown Plaza. I think I've stayed at every single hotel there is in Canberra. Let me give you a super quick room tour. Impressively, this is one of the best workspaces I've seen. But yeah, anytime you see a shower curtain, you know the bathroom's going to be extremely average. That's all right, we've got dinner plans. So to celebrate the super productive day, I picked out a special restaurant to celebrate with you all. Let me know in the comments below, what cuisine do you think is on the menu tonight? Very delicious meal tonight, much better than room service. So anyone that thinks the Canberra food scene is boring is completely wrong, and the top quality meal definitely makes up for this subpar room. In any case, it's a brilliant opportunity for me to maximize this spacious working desk, and when I'm away alone, I think keeping myself busy definitely helps with the loneliness and getting on top of work. I can do my pre-call planning, I can tidy up all my notes from today's calls, I can get through all my emails. So with all that food in my stomach, it's time to put it to good use. Good morning, team. First noticeable difference between Canberra and Wagga is how cold it is. Not sure if you can see the steam that's blowing out, but I'm going to work up a sweat now and warm up. But it is a beautiful morning walk to the gym. And another tip is probably need to pack a bit warmer. It is a bit cold to wear shorts. Temperature is, you guys can see that, 13 degrees. So I'm gonna start walking a little bit faster. Honestly, I think this calls for a coffee as well to get the heart rate up and warm up the insides. But I hope you're excited as I am to see my favorite gym in Australia and possibly the world. Thank you. Welcome to my playground. Lots of cardio. Welcome to another lunchtime chat. It's been a very productive day and the sun has come out. It is a beautiful day in Canberra. Not so beautiful is my soggy leftover lunch at 3 p.m. But it's okay, I had a massive breakfast this morning and it's been such a great day. The doctor just then told me about a cancer patient they had who was treated with the drug that I work on, and their tumor just shrunk after 3 doses. And incredible, the family, the patient, they're so appreciative for the results that modern medicine can achieve for them. And I know some of you may have found it very shocking, astounding, bewildering that if I had my time again, I'd go into software sales. But again, that's a dystopian world, and with where I am now, I have no regrets. I'm really grateful to be working in this space and hearing these sorts of stories. I think it gives me a lot of meaning and purpose. And I've spoken about in another video I would highly recommend that you watch on career advice and actually life advice, in that if we want to look for true happiness and fulfillment, you're looking for meaningful work and meaningful relationships, and that key word being meaningful. And what you find meaningful is going to be different to what I find meaningful. But nevertheless, sales is going to teach you many things, whether you go into tech or pharma. It's going to teach you no regrets, no remorse, to seize every opportunity that you can. Today, I had one appointment. I ended up seeing 3 doctors. And that's just me not accepting the status quo, going after it. And that's one of the beauties of sales. You're going to get really good self-confidence and build your own self-esteem. To go eat at a restaurant by yourself, I'm pretty sure more than 90% of people would dread the thought of that. But just like going into the gym and doing 100 push-ups, the more reps you get in, the better you get at doing it. So I'm going to kick on with a bit more work and respond to the 50,000 missed messages and emails on my personal phone. That's another thing about being in sales. Sure, it's lonely, but you're on the go all the time. The time flies, you don't even realize. I think if you're realizing that you're alone and bored, there's probably something wrong. And in any case, put on a podcast, or there's so many ways to entertain yourself. When I'm sitting at the airport tonight, I'm going to watch the footy. So anyways, I hope you've taken value from this vlog. And if you have any other questions on tech sales, pharma sales, or you'd like me to bring some elite salespeople from software, from real estate, from pharma onto the channel, let me know in the comments below and I'll see what I can do for you. As we wrap up an eventful 2 days in field, I hope you really enjoyed the insights that I've shared and getting out in field with me. You won't believe it, you guys must have jinxed me because I got called onto a global meeting after hours, so watching footy went out the window. But again, that's not a normal thing, it's just because I've put my hand up to do some extra work. And I hope you can see from the last 48 hours, whether you go into software and tech or pharma and med devices, you're going to learn so many different skills that's going to set you up for both career success and life success. So definitely do it. Whether you go to software or pharma, that is going to be a really difficult question. And to my earlier episode on career advice that you never got, focusing in on what's meaningful to you, everyone's going to have a different purpose. And if you're someone who wants to earn a lot of money to go on the 5-star holidays, to purchase luxury cars, luxury handbags, whatever you desire, again, no judgments, you've got to really put a mirror to yourself and ask yourself, is that what you want? Because then that's what you're going to find meaningful and purposeful to go after. Or on the flip side, if you're someone who values their time and flexibility of working, then that might be a higher priority for you. And if I look at someone like myself, I shared with you today, I love hearing the patient stories. Having been a hospital pharmacist, and now that I'm out of the hospital system, I have to live vicariously through the doctors that I see, and that gives me a lot of joy and fulfillment. And could I trade that all away to work on a software in finance, in logistics, in IT, cybersecurity that I might not be as passionate about but earn lots of money? Look, sales has always taught me to keep an open mind, and I never say never. But again, if the opportunity came, I would really have to ask myself, what is important to me? What is meaningful? And I challenge you to do the same. If there are any other questions that I haven't covered on these vlogs, please drop a comment for me and I'll make another episode. I'm starting to post a lot more on the community post channel, so if you're looking for that Monday pick-me-up or just short, easy to digest career tips, give the channel a subscribe, and I can't wait to read your comments.